Whew. What's going on, y'all? This video is absolutely to encourage someone who may be in the same boat, someone who is unsure, someone who is just looking for answers or looking for a little bit of guidance. I've been wrestling with this topic for a long time, and I think it has to do with the fact that in society and culture for men, talking about sex is like a big thing, and constantly talking about how many people you've been with or who you've been with and all that stuff, right? So it took me a little bit of time. And when I say a little bit of time, I'm talking about years and learning to be hot. I'm being completely hot right now, humble, open, and transparent with y'all. As the title has said, no, I have not had sex. But let me preface that. And the reason why I want to do this video now, I feel like with a lot of conversations I've had in the past month, and throughout my relationships that I've had in the past, that this was a hot topic. And this was the first time I felt convicted. I felt God tell me that, yo, you need to speak about this. You need to get this out there. And this could be helping. This could help someone. This could encourage someone. This could set the table straight and put everything out there so people understand who you are, why you are the way you are, and stuff like that. So, I also wrestled with what to call this, to title this, and I decided to call it, No, I Have Not Had Sex, due to the fact that, at first I was saying, okay, do I say wait until marriage? Okay, that's, that could be lost. That could be water under the bridge, right? It could go so many different ways. People may think like, oh, you're just, you're reborn. You're practicing celibacy until you get married. That's not the case. The fact of the matter is I've never had sex. I've never had sexual intercourse. Have I done stuff? Have I been intimate? Have I done like foreplay and stuff like that? Yes. So that was the other thing I was wrestling with. Do I call this video, I'm still a virgin? But technically, I guess you could wrestle with that all you want, one way or another. Because I've done stuff, but I haven't had intercourse. So let me take you on a trip and a roller coaster of why my mind is where it's at now, why I can speak about this so confidently and can have conviction behind what I'm doing. So for the longest time, I've always, thought that like, okay, foreplay and things like that is, oh, it's not sex, so it's okay, right? And so hanging out with guys and stuff like that, talking about things, guys always talk about their experiences and stuff like that. And I felt always kind of left out because I never experienced that. I never experienced having sex. I've never experienced intercourse. And so I would think that like, okay, like intimacy, foreplay, stuff like that. Okay, that's not technically sex. But then I have experience to talk about with the boys, right? But to take you back on a journey, I made this decision to not have sex when I was about 15. And the reason for that is, it's funny, but when I think about it, at that moment, at that time, it had nothing to do with God. My journey with God has been like this, like all over the place. And just as of late, maybe the last 4 months, I've been really into it thanks to Pastor Mike and Transformation Church, really into my faith and grounded and being humble, open, transparent, that now that I have the confidence and conviction to talk about why I chose not to have sex. So when I was about 14, 15, I decided not to have sex. And I told myself the reason was I saw people getting pregnant and I didn't want to get a girl pregnant, right? And so, yes, there were condoms and people were like, dude, you can just use a condom. Condoms are like 89%, 92% effective. And I'm like, I'm not chancing it that 8% of getting someone pregnant. I didn't want to, I didn't want to risk it. So, nope, wouldn't do it. Because I saw people getting pregnant in my teens. And I was like, dang, I don't want that. I'm an only child. I'm a guy. I'm the only boy. I'm carrying the name. And so all this pressure culturally for me to have things perfectly done, and to live a life where I'm going to college, nothing's going to be in the way. Don't don't mess up the family name and stuff like that was always on my mind. And so, no, I chose at a young age. I was like, no, not gonna have sex. And then got to college, and wow, that's like a whirlwind of just everything that you can think of, right? Intimacy, learning about your body, learning about the female body. There's so many things. And throughout my like 20s, um, experimenting and I guess hooking up with girls, but never I was able to say no when it came down to that. Like doing other things, I justified it in my head. Like it's okay, it's not intercourse. It's not, you're not having sex, you're not doing it, but everything else is okay, it's fair game, right? And I justified it in my head that it's okay. And so it almost became, and I want to share this with you guys, how powerful it was to remain quote unquote a virgin. Because girls that would find out, and it's funny because you think guys will always be chasing to be the first for a girl. It goes the other way around too. When girls found out that I have not done that, it was a powerful tool. I'm not gonna lie. I was very manipulative. I was very, again, I'm being very open with everything because I want this dialogue with people and I want people to understand why I have done what I've done. But I was very manipulative. I realized how strong that tool was. And to be honest, girls would always give me, like, they would give me attention because either they wanted to be my first or they wanted to be my first. But for some odd reason, I don't know why, I just never gave in. Temptation, God, temptation is crazy, right? It is huge. It's tough. It's whatever you can think of. Temptation is crazy. And again, mind you, I wasn't really in my faith at that point in my 20s, teens and 20s. Like I wasn't heavy in my faith. I wasn't a true believer. I didn't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, nothing like that. But I still didn't feel like I wanted to have sex. It was just something I just didn't want. I didn't want to risk having a child. And then I get into my 30s and I'm starting to really get into my faith and realizing that the one thing that I can give to my wife, my future wife, whenever I get married, that has not been used is that. And when I realized that, I realized how special that was. I realized I wanted to do that, right? And I really wanted to save that moment. And I've had this conversation with a bunch of my friends before, and they're like, dude, you're putting that on a pedestal. Trust me, it's not gonna be like this celebratory thing that you think it is. You just gotta do it, and you're gonna enjoy it. And I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of different stories and scenarios right now, right? So I would hear stories about like, dude, you're putting on a pedestal, and you're this, that, and this, and if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. Then I had people would tell me, dude, if you don't get any experience, no girl's gonna want to be with you. I'll tell you this right now. That was like, that hurt. That gutted me for like a few months, knowing the fact that like, oh dang, because I started thinking, do I need to get experience? Like, will my wife? Because I'm not in my. I already told myself, like, in this generation, like in our culture, like, it's not common that people wait until marriage, right? And so I'm not holding this where it's like, oh, I need to find someone just like me. Nothing like that whatsoever. I don't expect it. Nothing like that. But so when I heard that, it really got to my head. I'm not joking. Like that maybe my future wife will want me to have experience in the sack, in bed, being able to do that. And it really got me like, not depressed per se, but really get second guessing and thinking about it and really thinking about it. Like, maybe I do need to go out and just hook up with girls and get that out there and know how it is to have sex and stuff like that. But when I finally got over that and I got back into my mind frame of, yo, you told yourself, this is the one thing that you can give to your wife that you haven't given to anybody. Once I really got that back in my head, I'm very firm with it. And I became okay with it. And I'm actually driven for that moment, that day when I can consummate and give my wife that one thing that no one else has ever had, right? So yeah, it's been a tough journey. I mean, is temptation tough? Yes, it's there, right? Like, and again, I'm just speaking from my heart. I just want to be humble, open, transparent. But the thing that I want to also share is this journey now. Like, I'm in my late 30s, and so 39 to be exact, whenever you see this. And it's not like I haven't had opportunity. I just now that I'm in my faith and I'm in my walk with Christ, I don't even want to be intimate in that way. Like, I don't want to justify like what I did in the past of, oh, foreplay's okay, it's not sex. What I realize is, reading Pastor Mike's book about soul ties, I had multiple soul ties with people that I was intimate with, even though it wasn't sexual intercourse, it wasn't sex, but foreplay, being intimate, just that, like, there was a strong pull. And what I ended up doing was I reached out to these people that I felt like I had soul ties, and I apologized. I apologized for putting her and myself in these situations, and apologized for like manipulating situations, or like just not being a good, honest person. Some were really receptive, some were really cool, some were really, and a couple, were like just not hearing it. So it is what it is. But I realized as my journey with Christ, as I've continued on, I don't even want any of that stuff. And it's crazy because I never thought of that. I always thought that, like, in order to connect with a girl, you have to know how to be physical with her. But I'm starting to understand that it's not necessarily the physical of that kind of intimacy. It's more of the courting and dating and spending quality time and memories and creating these things to lead up to marriage and then eventually consummate and bring it together. And so I wanted to make this video just to be very transparent, because I felt like with my story, a lot of times people will assume, based on how much I can speak, how open I am, how convicted I am, the fact that, I can be charismatic at time. I can meet people. It's very easy for me to talk to the opposite sex. It's that they think that I just go out and just hook up with girls or smash girls and stuff, and that's just not the case. Yeah, in the past, have I done stuff? Yeah, I've done stuff, but I haven't done that one thing. But now even more so at this juncture of my life, even though I'm 39, and I am so focused on building my relationship with God, knowing Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, and praying that whoever I'm supposed to meet, whoever God's supposed to bless me with, that's the person that I share this special moment with. So I just wanted to share this because I want to encourage those who are in the same boat, who are looking for, you're unsure if you want to, because, hormones is crazy, especially in your teens, in your 20s, and as you get older too, like, hormones get ride, right? But that discipline, and to have that vision that if you can wait and not have any soul ties, save yourself from that pain. And if you don't know, please get Relationship Goals by Pastor Mike. He explains what soul ties are. You don't want any of that because it is frustrating. But if you can navigate through that and past that and have the vision of, hey, this is the one thing that I can give to my future spouse, and it's a beautiful thing, and you don't fall into the whole what the culture tells you, what people tell you, like, oh, you need to hook up and you need to do this. If you can bypass all that, the one thing I can tell you is life is actually pretty simple. Because you're not worried about trying to fulfill that urge per se, right? Because you're so focused on other things. Some people ask me, like, how do you do that? Like, how do you not have sex? Like, especially like if you're laying next to someone and you're there and you've been intimate, and how do you like not do it? To be honest, people, my answer's always been, I don't know how it feels. So I don't know. If I knew how it feels, then I would know what I'm missing. But since I don't know how it feels, I'm not missing anything, right? And so again, I'm doing this video because I feel like, honestly, I felt God tell me that, yo, you need to talk about this. You need to get this out there. This could be encouraging to some people. And I know some people are gonna be like, dude, you're lying, whatever, or some people are like, dude, he's just talking up his butt right now. But I wanted to throw this video out there. You guys have seen what I've done on all my YouTubes and on my Instagram. I'm just being very transparent, very hot right now. And and I felt like God really told me that I needed to do this. I really needed to get this out. I really needed to be upfront, put it out to everybody, and hopefully encourage someone that may be going through the same mindset, that it's okay. Like, if you don't want to, don't. If you want to save yourself till marriage, do so. And if you have done it already, it's okay. You can start over again. I have a lot of friends, guys and girls, who have decided to wait now until they get married. Like, they've had their past, they've done what they've done, and they've decided to say, you know what, I'm going to save that moment now for my future spouse, my husband and my wife. I want to share that with that one person. I'm like, kudos. And it's so important to surround yourself with people who are not going to pull you down, but honestly uplift you for choosing that, and not look down on you for the choice that you're making and the decision. And like, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is tough. The temptations out there, the opportunities out there, and sometimes like your hormones are get the best of you. But if you can remain disciplined and focus on the goal that you want, which is to consummate on the night of your wedding, for me now, that thinking about it right now, how amazing is that? How amazing is that gonna be if you actually get to share that one thing with your one and only that is meant for you, and you provide it to that person? I just think that's a beautiful thing. And so, again, I'm open for dialogue. Excuse me. I'm open to have conversations about this. I hope this is encouraging to some people. I hope this really actually opens the minds of a lot of people. So please reach out to me if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, comment below. I definitely want to start this dialogue and have an open conversation with all you guys who have and who haven't had sex, and just see where this goes, because I think this is a hot topic that we don't talk about, and it's important. Why not? Let's get it out there. So comment below. Let me know. I appreciate you guys for being so supportive, especially with this video. Trust me, this has been so hard to do. It's been a long time in the making, but I wanted to be very humble, open, and transparent, and it feels good to actually share this. So hopefully you guys can pass this along to anybody that you think will benefit from it, or just like needed some sort of guidance. I'll put my email and my contact below. You guys know how to reach me. Just go ahead, hit me up on my email, slide in my DMs at Instagram, and let's just get this conversation going. So I thank you again for your love and support, and for watching this whole video. And I will say it out loud right now. I'm going to put it on wax. I am waiting until marriage, and I'm proud of it. All right, until next time, I love you guys. Take care. Always.